our next guest has 2 Super Bowl rings, one with the Patriots and then one beating the Patriots last year. Of course, he plays for the Philadelphia Eagles. He's Chris Long. He joins the Doug Gottlieb Show, and he's always trying to save somebody, right? Whether it's the water boys and trying to save people in Africa and get them clean water, or save me some money, right? Like, he's here on behalf of Freebird Messaging, which, wait, does it save me money when I use Uber and Lyft?
So it saves you money, and it probably keeps you out of some really bad situations. So what I love about it is it incentivizes safe partying, in my opinion.
Okay.
You can use it in conjunction with Uber and Lyft. It's a cashback rewards mobile app. I downloaded it. If you download it and punch in "Go Long," that's the promo code. Please punch that one in because that helps me out.
Right.
You're going to get $10 towards your first ride to a party this week. On Super Bowl Sunday, what's so cool is you get $10 towards your ride to a Super Bowl party and $10 towards your ride back. So there's no excuse.
No excuse for drunk driving.
So at the end of the day, like, I'm excited about the partnership. I'm excited about it aligns with what I believe in, and I think it's just pretty cool. It's a cool concept, and it's going to keep you safe.
I want to ask you a bunch of fun questions, but I asked you a couple hard ones, otherwise I wouldn't be doing my job. Yeah. Report came out a couple weeks ago that Carson Wentz got a little diva to him, that some of the guys are like,
if that's a diva,
right? We like Nick. I like Nick. I mean, I know Nick. I play basketball with him a little bit in the offseason.
Is he good?
He's very good.
Yeah, he's good at a lot.
I mean, dude can really shoot, and he's big.
Yeah.
He can play. But I'm in lockstep with the Eagles in that, like, look, the dude was going to win the MVP before he got hurt. Takes a while to get back, and you guys had to fix some things to your defense before the team really got back. What's really going on in Philadelphia? What's really like in regards to how the locker room feels about the quarterback situation?
Well, to me, and this is a 10-day-old story, so my thing is, like, the more I talk about it, the more I give it legs, and, like, my thing is, and I have to ask you about,
right?
And that's just me telling you what I have to say as a teammate now. But, like, also, I'll speak plainly. Carson's been a great teammate, and Carson's been somebody who is really loved in that locker room and respected. And I'm not a big fan of anonymous sources, but you got to do you, man. Whatever you got to do, that's your right. I'm not a fan of it. And Carson played hurt all year, and he's our franchise quarterback. That doesn't mean you can't love Nick and think he's a legend in Philly forever. I mean, those two concepts aren't mutually exclusive. People struggle with that.
Why wasn't this year the same? I remember at the rally.
Yeah.
I remember Kelsey and calling people out, and I was just like, look, the idea, and even Lane saying, we're going to have fun, even if it's only once. From the outside, you're like, man, it's really hard to come back and do it again. But why was it so different this year?
Well, I think for a few reasons. I think it's really hard, as you mentioned, in general. I mean, look no further than maybe one of the best quarterbacks of all time, if not, he's got a lot of records, Drew Brees. I mean, we watched what happened a week or two ago. It took him almost a decade to get back there, right? It's no foregone conclusion your team's going to be back there. I think last year, people look at it wrong. I think last year we were able to overcome what would just kill most teams.
Injuries.
And we were the exception to the rule.
Right.
This year we had a lot of those same problems. And, in addition to starting the season with your franchise quarterback not getting reps in camp, the transition from Nick after a couple games to Carson never being healthy to injuries.
New quarterback room in terms of the coaches as well.
There's a lot of turnover.
How different is it when you're everybody's biggest game? Like, look, people don't like the Eagles. Eagles are good rivals, but it's different when you're a Super Bowl champion walking. Is it or is it?
Well, I think there's a difference, but I think at the end of the day, if you look at some of these things, I hate playing the woulda game, but we blew a couple games in the middle of the year that we had double-digit leads. You look at those games, we win those games. There were 3 games in my mind that we really let slip. And, we end up 9-7. We win those 3 games. We're 12-4. We have a home game. We might have a bye. I don't know how the math worked out. We probably actually wouldn't have had a bye. But everybody's talking about, man, it's amazing that they were able to get back and put this effort forth coming off a Super Bowl. So at the end of the day, I think really when you look at it, minus a couple bad 2-minute drives, we're in a position to be a hype team again. But a team that doesn't love each other and doesn't care about each other and isn't tough would have never been able to get back up after that 48-7 game down in New Orleans and make that run the way we did. And it wasn't like it was a moral victory for us. We wanted to win the whole thing.
You talked about how hard it is. So how do the Patriots keep doing this?
Well, I mean, it helps to have that continuity of Tom and Bill. I mean, to me, it's like hitting the lotto twice, and they've had that for a long time. But I think an underrated aspect of what they do is their adaptability. And
but why can't other people copy that? Like, they've been doing it for 19 years. Why can't other people make their defense and their offense adaptable?
So make me a Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Which is just make one in the lab. Can anybody?
Right.
I mean, and then on top of that, have the continuity in coaching and scheme. But as we talked about, they do adapt. I just think it's really hard to duplicate. And it's not hard to duplicate for 1 year, but to do it year after year after year. And that's, somebody asked me about the Rams, like what advice we give the Rams in playing the Patriots. You're not playing all 15 Patriots teams. You're playing this one.
Right.
Focus on this one. Don't conflate this one team with all their successes. In my opinion, minus one or two teams, they've never had a team that was just far away better than the rest of their league. And that's what makes them good, is that they're always in position to win.
And then you give them Tom Brady, and you give them a great coach, and they come up with a great scheme, and they execute, and they try to not make mistakes.
Yep, and they take away what you do well, and they play to their strengths. For instance, last year, you look at the team that they aired it out all day against us last year in the Super Bowl. They're a totally different team in the playoffs this year. I mean, you look at the way their tackles are moving people off the ball. You look at their commitment to the run game, their first two drives to open, the divisional and the championship rounds. I mean, that's been their tone-setting type of football they're playing right now.
Yeah, it's really, really, really remarkable to watch. All right, what about the Rams? How good are they?
I think they're very dangerous. I think a lot of people slept on them a little bit because of the two back-to-back losses late in the season to Chicago and to us, where it looked like there might be trouble in paradise and they might have peaked too soon. But then you look at them in the playoffs, getting big catches from a lot of guys I frankly hadn't heard of, and just making it work a lot of the same way. They're a little bit more systematic offensively, but they showed how good Sean's system is throughout the playoffs.
You mentioned when you guys beat them, you guys and the Bears both beat them. Part of it was your defensive line, right? I mean, you guys, they're people were saying, well, their offensive line's not as good. What were you guys able to do to get after their quarterback?
Against the Rams?
Yeah.
Well, I just felt like, our D-line this year, anybody could get buckets. That's kind of the way we put it. Like we like the goal is to be like a Golden State type D-line, where it's like whoever's in the game, we can all rush. And that's one unique thing about us. We have every guy can win pass rushes and win one-on-ones. And when you give us a lead at LA like that, and we had that game in control in the third quarter, you're going to be able to hit Jared a lot. You're going to be able to affect him a lot. And in my opinion, it starts with our best player, which is Fletcher Cox.
Yeah, he's just an absolute monster.
Underrated.
By the way, again, it's Freebird, right? Freebird. Yep. And you can download in the App Store or on Google Play. Enter the code GOLONG, obviously for Chris Long. Real quick, your level of confidence in Virginia in the tournament.
I feel very good about it. We were talking about it off air. I'm psyched. I think this could be the year, and I've said that a lot lately.
Here's the thing, right? Like, one, I love Tony. Two, you look at Nova. You remember Nova was like 3 years in a row they lost in the first weekend.
Yep.
And then they just kicked the crap out of everybody when they went to win the national championship the first time. It feels like this is that year. Like, they do have more guys that can score.
Yeah. I don't want to jinx it, but, we talked about how Tony's adapted, and they've done some things that have been really out of character for them, but it's worked out really well, and I'm super excited to just see how that plays out the rest of the year.
Why can't they do it in football?
In football?
Yeah.
They've been better. I mean, that 28-0 game over the SEC vaunted Gamecocks, I mean, why didn't they use their SEC speed there to beat us?